So I go to my mom and I say, hey, I have this woman saying that we shared this amount of DNA. Do you know anything about your parents? And my mom, God bless her heart, kind of was like, oh my God, what? That's crazy. That's weird. What are you talking about? I know my mother well enough to know when homegirl is not being 100% truthful. Wow. And then I started talking to this woman. And the next day, my mom calls me and she goes, you know, now that you mention it.
No, I'm sorry.
Now that you mention it, I think your biological father did mention something about him having a child out of wedlock and your grandmother demanding that they give it up for adoption.
Now that you mention it, I think I remember all the specific details.
All right, so we're only a few episodes into the new season of the podcast, and we've already covered some wild family secrets, some that go back generations.
Tomorrow night at this time, I'm gonna be a father.
Ricky, this is it.
This is it.
And some that completely change the way you see the people closest to you.
You were withdrawn from your relationship with us because your father was like that with you? That's friggin' great.
In so many of these stories, the person who discovers the secret becomes determined to find answers. Who knew? Who am I in this family? And what the hell actually happened? Yeah! But what if you're not the person looking for the answers? What if, one totally normal day, someone looking for answers finds you? How much do you owe them? How much of the responsibility to solve a mystery you might not have even been aware of falls on your shoulders? How much of yourself do you have to give? That's what happened to today's guest, one of my dear friends, Adam Lloyd. Not long ago, a stranger who looked suspiciously like members of his own family reached out to him and changed his life forever. And maybe not in all the ways you little everybodies might have come to expect. My friend Adam is an incredibly talented screenwriter, WGA member, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer superfan.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me.
He's also someone who has spent years working in the orbit of sitcoms before eventually writing on one himself, which makes him kind of the perfect guest for this damn show. I mean, we've created this weird little world where sitcoms and very real family problems collide, and Adam has literally lived in both. In our conversation, we talk about what happens when a surprise revelation forces you to think on your feet, how much of our family history we actually want to know, and why setting boundaries doesn't necessarily mean closing a door forever. We also get into growing up queer and neurodivergent, a lifetime of masking, finally getting the damn tools to understand your brain better, and, of course, Adam's lifelong dream of being the gay son of a genie. You thought I was gonna forget? Never. That is my sound now. But first, we're getting another little peek behind the Hollywood curtain because Adam's career is one of those stories that is equal parts talent, determination, just saying yes before you know what the hell you're saying yes to, and also a little bit of perfect Hollywood timing. All right, let's get into it. I'm Holly Brown, a comedian who knows a thing or two about sharing your family secrets with the world. From Next Chapter Podcasts and Companion, this is the one with Adam Lloyd's genetic genie in a bottle.
Obviously, we're getting right into it with today's guest, and I am so delighted to be joined by the wonderful Adam Lloyd, who is not only a WGA screenwriter, he's written on a sitcom, has just lived within the orbit of sitcoms for much longer than most people do.
Oh, well, that's so kind of you.
But he's also one of my dear friends that I am just lucky enough to have in my life.
Oh my gosh.
But Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
I am so excited to be here.
Yay!
Thank you for inviting me. I canceled therapy today so I could come to this instead.
No pressure, Hall.
No, it's okay. I would rather do this than pay someone to talk about trauma and love and stuff. You know?
Let's joke about it and you come back to your therapist and be like, hey, I know that you were trained in this and all, but I just talked to a podcaster for an hour and I'm cured. Okay?
Honestly, I think the therapists are scared of you podcasters because they should be, number one. And number two, it's like there's nothing better than just go and tell your story to some people you love in front of a microphone.
So I mentioned at the top that you've kind of lived in the orbit of sitcoms for a long time.
Yeah, for at least a decade
baked
now.
into the DNA of this show.
Oh, it is. And it's amazing. And first of all, before we start, we get all professional. Oh my God, professional.
Look to the camera here. Look to the camera here.
These cameras, number one. You are coming up in the world, girlfriend.
Oh my God.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you
so proud
so
of
much.
you. I'm very proud of you. And talent is sexy, number one. So I'm going to be like into it. But also, it's just really reassuring to see your friends tackle their dreams. And I'm just so proud of you. Because, you know, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Like your husband is, I went to college with your husband. I've known him for over 20 years. He's in my wedding. But like we've never gotten to sit down and like chat about like, you know, life and stuff like that because
we're not deep.
No, we're not going to go to a party and be like, hey, what's going on? Want to talk about some shit?
Yeah.
But anyway, but like, so even listening over the past few months and stuff, I don't know, I felt so close to you listening to this deep dive into your life.
And you know, you give all of yourself out there. You put your vulnerabilities and your weaknesses and everything out there and your trauma.
Yeah.
And then you're able to sooner find the people, even if they're people that were already in your orbit, like you were, where I'm like, not only does it make sense that you and I connect even deeper than we already had this incredible rapport. Now we immediately connect deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I always knew I liked Adam in a different way. So,
oh my God, it's like our sixth sense of like trauma pasts coming together.
Trauma club, man.
I know, man. Woo!
Okay. So I want quickly to walk through, because of the sitcom connection that you have, what that looked like for you. How did that unfold where you found yourself working in an orbit of sitcoms?
Yeah. I moved out to Los Angeles. I was born in St. Louis. I am the ripe age of 39 years old. So I was born in 1987.
Classic ripe age.
I grew up there my entire life. I went to college out in St. Louis, and then I moved to LA in 2011 because, you know, I knew that I had some kind of dream to work in TV and movies. However, I did not know what that was. And I wasn't afraid to say that.
Yeah.
But I was also like, do I want to do the acting thing? Do I want to go out and just like be a PA somewhere and just try to figure it out? So I kind of did the latter, and I just tried to figure out where I fit in the industry when I moved out here. And it was really super hard because you can't just like, hello, I'm here to work now.
Well, the days of, which were real somehow, the days of a man walking into an office and being like, I'm here to talk to Mr. Rupert.
Yes.
I've got his mail, ? And they're like, you're hired. Like, that is a thing that
got a 3-picture deal, son. No.
Can he start tomorrow?
Yeah.
Post haste. You're like, what the hell? That was a real thing that happened.
For sure.
I mean, I would argue some parents and older generation and grandparents still think it can happen.
Yeah.
Like, did you think about walking in with your resume to SNL? I'm like, let me try that.
Or of what my dad says, and God love my dad, he just says, you know, you should just tell him that you can write like a Spider-Man movie or something like that. And I was like, you know what, Dad, I should tell them. I should tell them that I can do something like that.
Well, you didn't know where.
I didn't know where
you were going to fit in yet, but you had this desire.
But I had this desire to be a part of the industry. I'd always have. Movies and TV shows were my escape when I was a kid. We'll get into that. But I knew in LA that like, if I was going to meet anyone or be in the industry somehow, I had to know someone who worked on a lot or be at a studio. So I was like, what is a way that I can get on a studio lot and, you know, meet people? I have no prior experience. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no money. Like, just help this poor little boy. But It came in the interview or an audition to be a studio tour guide for Universal Studios Hollywood. I was a normal tram guide, like as you go to Universal Studios, you get on the tram and you have that guy with the microphone. All right, everyone, welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh my God, guys.
We are going to unveil the secrets of Hollywood as we drive through this 400-acre Blackhawk bullshit. So it's really fun, and you get to, like, you know, just tell strangers from all over the world about movies as you're driving through this huge lot. So, like, I had worked both. So I was a tram guide forever. I mean, not forever, honestly, because I fell in love with the man who was the lead trainer of tour guides at the time.
Wow, scandalous.
I know. His name is William. And spoiler alert, America and other countries listening, we're getting married this Halloween.
Listen, that love blossomed on the lots of Universal Studios.
That's right. And then I went down the street and was a tour guide at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And that is where I was for a long time. I was there for about 2 years, 4 tours a day, 5 days a week. What happened was I was actually on a date with my fiance, and something had happened at the WB tour where, like, everyone was upset about something. And at this point in my life, I just didn't want to deal with the drama at work. And I was like, maybe this is time for me to leave. And I had texted a friend who I knew worked on a show for ABC. And I did not know what her job was. I knew that she was on the production side of something. She wasn't a writer. She wasn't a producer or anything. She was just a below the line person. And I just texted her. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a new job. I know you work on this show. Can I just send you my resume? If you have anything open, like anything at all, I'll take it. And she called me right then and there. And she was like, Adam, like, I'm actually leaving for 2 weeks to go get married. And I need someone to, like, be my job, like, to temp for me for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? But before I even asked what the job was, I was like, yes, I'll do it. I'll totally do it. So I quit Warner Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah. And keep in mind, this was only like a 2-week, like, temp job.
Yeah,
okay?
but, like, that is...
When I asked Warner Brothers, like, can I just have 2 weeks off, like, leave of absence? They were like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. Took that giant leap of faith, and I just quit this job where I had benefits, where I had all this stuff, and I went to go do this 2-week job. Turns out, this job that I was temping for was the showrunner's assistant for yeah.
Not like what I love about this so far is, like, you're doing all the right things. Like, you are doing all the right things. You said yes, you put yourself out there, and it's just like, yes, is it lucky that was a showrunner's assistant? Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people would never have gotten to that part.
For sure.
Because they wouldn't have said yes.
And you know what? I think that luck is a huge part of this town too. But also, it's like what you do with that luck is a huge part of how you want your career to unfold or how you want your life to unfold.
Totally.
So as I took this job and found out that I was now the assistant to this showrunner for the show was The Real O'Neills that was on ABC. And it had just so happened that in that 2 weeks, the person who was their writer's room PA was leaving their job.
You just keep finding these little holes.
See, I didn't know.
Which I said that, and that sounded weird.
Okay, but I love finding holes. I love finding holes, girl. Okay, the hole hunter. No, edit that out. But
that's a new sitcom coming to you.
Coming to you, the hole hunter.
Coming to you.
So it was The Real O'Neills, and I became the writer's PA. And so I was in the writer's room for this sitcom for season 2. I found myself working for them and getting their lunches and getting their coffee. And, you know, I had made some friends, and they were just so nice and so welcoming. Then they canceled the show.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. They canceled the show. However, the one showrunner who I temped for was going to be the new showrunner for season 4 of Blackish.
A little show
called Blackish. You might have heard of it.
You know, it's like Ish. It's just like a little Ish show.
Ish. Yeah. So she had offered me the writer's PA job on Blackish. And the writer's PA job in the writer's room is the lowest staff support job that there is. It's not a glamorous job. Yeah. It's not fun. And you're also just trying to impress people like 24/7. So like it's just crazy. So I took the job, even though I had just done like the season 2 of it on O'Neill's, and it was probably the smartest decision I had ever made. I met so many awesome people who are in my life today. I was on Blackish for season 4 and season 5. I became the showrunner's assistant of season 5. And then that man hired me to be his executive assistant for the next 4 years after that.
And then then you started writing on a show.
Yes. And so like while I was an assistant to that one executive producer, we developed tons of pilots, tons of sitcom pilots. As we were developing these two pilots went to series. One of them was This Fool, which was on Chris Estrada's
Fantastic
show. That was on Hulu.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And then the other show we developed was with comedian Phoebe Robinson, Everything's Trash.
Yeah.
And during that development process, I had grown really close with Phoebe, and I just loved that whole process that we were together. When the time came to staff, Phoebe, she read me. She read one of my samples, and, you know, it became down to the position of the showrunner and Phoebe to, you know, give me the job. And they asked me if I wanted to become a staff writer on their show, and I did. And now I was a sitcom writer.
That is...
that
so
was a
cool.
long story.
No, that's my dream.
Oh, no.
It's not my dream to be a sitcom writer. It's my dream to live in sitcoms.
Yeah,
And the fact that like you started off your career like in Hollywood being on the sets.
Yeah.
And you got to stay on the sets.
Yeah.
That is so fucking cool, Adam. So you've lived in the sitcom universe in many ways, because you mentioned losing yourself in TV shows as well.
Yes.
And so I want to quickly dive into, if you could live in any sitcom world, what sitcom world would you live in?
It's an older sitcom.
Yeah.
It was made in the 60s, early 60s.
Already starting off unique.
It would be the I Dream of Jeannie world. I would love to be involved with the family of Anthony Nelson,
You're obsessed.
Jeannie. Oh my God. Growing up, it was so weird. I always thought like, man, I would love to be just like the kid of a genie. Like, you know.
The kid? Not even the genie?
Well, I was a kid at the time, so I wanted to be like, so I was like, what if Jeannie had a kid? And then like
You're writing already.
I was always like thinking like that would just be crazy, because the premise of I Dream of Jeannie was already like crazy.
Yeah.
It was this genie and this astronaut. It was the whole will they won't they thing dynamic, and
it was this genie and this astronaut. I love how like we're all so familiar with I Dream of Jeannie at this point that we forget that it's this genie and this astronaut.
Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like it hasn't like it stands the test of time.
You just texted me a photo yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
You texted me a photo of you next to a cardboard cutout. At what age were you?
This was like I have to be like 10 maybe.
10-year-old Adam in Missouri. With a life-size cardboard cutout of the genie from I Dream of Jeannie.
It's true.
Just posing your little butt off next to this genie
I have
cardboard
like
cutout.
a beveled leg.
Yes, you do.
My leg's beveled and my hand is like
It was
postured on Barbara Eden's torso. Like, oh my God, can I touch you here?
I'm your future son.
Yeah. What you didn't say about that picture that I sent you is that above it is my mom, God bless her heart. She tried to make it look not as gay as it was. And she put like this dinosaur balloon atop Barbara Eden's head as if it would make it look a little bit more boyish.
I remember seeing that photo and I was like, there's nothing about this that is straight.
No,
there's
not at all.
There's not one
and yet
iota.
it was still a shock to her.
Well, she took that photo and said, I'm never looking at this again.
Amen.
Apparently.
No, that's why I found it so deep in the photo album box. Yes, but it would be the I Dream of Jeannie family.
Yay.
I just loved that show so much. I love supernatural stuff. I love magic. Oh my God. Well, I think that was like my introduction to it all, honestly.
So were you a Sabrina the Teenage Witch fan?
Yes.
Of course you were.
Of course I was. I watched it all the time. That was one of the things I was debating saying when I came here.
Oh, really?
Did I want to be Sabrina's brother or like, you know?
Adam, I want to let you know you can be the main character.
Yeah.
I love that. You're like, do I want to be Sabrina's? You're like, do I want to be Salem Saberhagen?
Okay. Well, then we're rebooting I Dream of Jeannie. You ready, ABC? It's about Jeannie's gay son who was grown up and now gets Jeannie's powers.
I love this.
And Jeannie has no powers because she gave it to him. And now she has to teach him how to use those powers. and not reveal his identity as a genie. Done.
Send it to
I will sign on a dotted line somewhere. Thank you.
And it is called He Dreams of Genie.
He Dreams of Genie. That, God damn it.
I mean, we've got the old fans. We got the new fans.
They're all coming back.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but all I can see in my view is money raining down on us
And
together.
you think I'm lying, but I'm going to call my lawyer after this podcast.
And see if this is possible. Good. I love to have my trauma be an inspiration. Alrighty. So we've talked about what sitcom world we want to live in. You've laid some little breadcrumbs where you mentioned like, and somehow she didn't know I was gay, which is just... obviously easy to laugh at now when we look at the photo, we know each other. But obviously, life threw some curveballs.
It does.
Your way. And part of the reason besides the fact that you have a million reasons to be on this show, check. Another one is you got a family secret.
I've got a family secret.
So tell me about this 23andMe, what these technological developments and how this impacted your life.
It did.
What happened?
I'll start off by saying, this is very recent. So this happened in 2023. So I'm going to try to be very, give as much detail as I can.
Yes, of
without
course.
Dragging this other person's experience and what they're going through. But yes, so 23andMe, I did years ago. Like when it was like, oh my gosh,
really?
23andMe. Like you can find out
Wait,
where your ancestors
So this
come
is a
from.
byproduct of you. I guess I've never done it yet. I think there's a level at which I am like, I can't take anymore.
well, that's amazing because like that's what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
And I was more interested is because growing up, my biological father and I didn't really have much communication. I call my stepdad my dad. My mom got remarried when I was 13. So when 23andMe came out, I was really interested because I wanted to see like just what our heritage is and where we come. We're super white, so I know it's like European.
Yeah.
But like I was kind of feeling left out during like St. Patrick's Day. How Irish are you? I was like I have no idea and I don't know where we come from. So I did it. It came back like, no surprises, 99% white boy. But what was really crazy that I thought was that it could take your DNA and then compare it to other users' DNA to map out like your family tree, no matter where they fit into it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I left that alone. Like I didn't really like dive into it, nor did I really want to know.
Why do you think that is?
Well, that would probably be because of my biological father.
Okay.
I did not know the man growing up. I knew of him, and my mom tried to put my brother and I, have him in our lives as much as well as we wanted, I guess. She wanted to let us make that decision. And it turned out over time that I did not want him a part of my life.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that, he was not there for. And like, also like he had cheated on my mom when I was a baby. And so they had divorced then and my mom got custody. So it was like this thing that I didn't really want to pursue.
Yeah.
And I knew from, just stories of my mom that like, he may not have had the best past and he may not have been the most upstanding person. So I didn't really touch the family tree, like here are your DNA relatives kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's all, to know this about your dad, to know like, okay, I know the threads around him are complicated.
Yeah.
Some of them are not unsavory.
Yeah.
And then to not want to dig into that, like I understand that feeling.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like what I don't know, not going to hurt me.
It's not going to hurt you, especially like when you know that there might be something that isn't going to just like, surprise you, but it might change your entire life.
Or force you to confront things that you're like,
100%.
Maybe I'm not ready for that.
And with other family members too. So flash forward to 2023, right before Thanksgiving. I am in the living room. Will is prepping food in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, I look down at my phone and I have a notification from 23andMe. It's like,
God.
you have a message
When
from
was the
so-and-so.
last time you got a notification?
It had been years.
Wow.
It had been years. I hadn't even opened my 23andMe account in forever. Like I had no reason to. I had my breakdown of my DNA or where I was from. So whatever. So I was like, message, that's weird. So I open this message, and it is a message from this woman who, according to 23andMe, I share 26% of DNA with. But to get that message from her, especially around like the time it was, because it was Thanksgiving, and I was on winter break or Thanksgiving break at the time, I think, for the show, and like nothing was going on. So I had all this time, and this woman texts me and she says, "We share this much DNA. Do you know anything about your family? I was adopted in St. Louis in such and such year, and I don't know anything about my birth parents or where I come from." Oh boy. So I am just like, well, here we go. Here we are.
Did you when you got that message and you're reading that, what this person is saying at the time?
Yeah.
At that moment, because it sounds like to me that would be a lot of responsibility.
Well, yeah, 100%.
And did you feel that then, or were you still in the process
not
of
yet.
Engage? Like, I don't even know if I want to engage.
Well, I had the process of I didn't know if I wanted to engage, because you also have to keep in mind, right before November in 2023, one of my stims is news. Like, I will just watch news from any news source. Like, I will just watch global news. I will watch the local news. I will watch the national news. I watch all of it. And that's to say that there are some wrong news out there, you guys. That's crazy.
Well, Adam's watched all of it, so he can say there's wrong news.
And I don't even. Oh, well. Around 2023, 23andMe had a huge like data breach, like a huge, like they had to announce it to everyone. Like someone came in and took all this information, blah, blah, blah. So at the time, I didn't really had looked into it at all. I just knew that there was a data breach for 23andMe, and this woman was contacting me saying that we have 26% DNA in common, which I can see on the website. Right. So at the time, I'm like, what? Like, is this real? Am I being scammed? Like, what's happening?
Which I think, smart instincts.
Well, I mean, because we live in the world of...
I've been scammed.
Amen. Yes. I just tried to buy a weed pipe off of Instagram the other day, and it was a fucking scam. And I was mad because the pipe was really cool.
I was not mad that I fell for it. I was mad because I didn't get the pipe that never existed.
I want them to learn a lesson from this. So I was sitting there reeling with it. So of course, the first thing I think of is I'm going to ask my mom. I'm going to ask my mom if she knew anything about a kid or whatever on my dad's side of the family. Because 23andMe tells you that your DNA comes from your father's side, and that's how you match. And I knew my mom for the past 30-something years wasn't... If she was shouting out kids, like she did it very well. I know. She hid it in secret.
That's why I'm like, anytime I hear a woman's story on these things, I'm like, there's a small clap. I mean, good for you, baby.
Amen. She just took us and ran. Like, she was single mom. Single moms, by the way.
Yeah.
Clap. They do not get the recognition
they
deserve.
No, they don't.
Especially with this story that I'm saying. So I go to my mom and I say, hey, I have this woman saying that we share this amount of DNA. Do you know anything about your parents? And my mom, God bless her heart, kind of was like, oh my God, what? That's crazy. That's weird. What are you talking about? I know my mother well enough to know when homegirl is not being 100% truthful.
Well, if you're a single mom, you're going to have a different kind of relationship with your single mom.
For sure.
You're going to be like,
Yeah. And here's the thing. I've been a mama's boy my entire life. And, that's not to say my mom and I have not had our ups and downs, because we totally have. And, to this day, we don't see eye to eye on everything, but she's a great friend, and she's come so far in how she, tackles life herself. So, my mom kind of sidestepped the question, and so I let it go for a second, and then I started talking to this woman who lives in St. Louis, Missouri, where I grew up. St. Louis, Missouri. She still lives there. She has lived there since 1970 something.
So at that stage, then you knew, at what point did you know how old she was?
Well, she told me on the first message, she said, I was born on such and such this year. And so when I did the math, I was like, this was before my biological father knew my mom. So, but like really close actually. So like, what's going on? So when my mom didn't tell me, I kind of like didn't do anything at first. And then I started talking to this woman. And the next day, my mom calls me and she goes, you know, now that you mention it.
No, I'm sorry.
Now that you mention it, I think your biological father did mention something about him having a child out of wedlock and your grandmother demanding that they give it up for adoption.
Now that you mention it, I think I remember all the specific details.
Like I said, my mom has come very far.
Oh my gosh, of course. It is like, I will say, it is hard. I've garnered so much empathy for people in the flip side of the situations that we're in, because I don't know what that's like. And so for me to, like, I lived my whole life projecting that I would know, why did they do that this way?
Yeah.
Why did they hide the secret from me, or this or that? I've now been able to be on the other side of that a little more, talk to those people. And so, yes, we can step back and laugh at this now because it is objectively a little ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Doesn't mean that I don't understand
for sure
the many layers your mom was trying to like.
And you know what? It's also a generational thing.
Yes.
And like here we are, we're elder millennials here. Well, I am at least. I'm older than you are.
How dare you?
God.
I'm firmly a millennial.
So, but like, you know, that generation really doesn't talk about things that make them uncomfortable or are hard to talk about. And so I think that's actually like the biggest gift millennials have given to, you know, to our generation before us, is to help them break down those walls and to help them, you know, actually have conversations about stuff that are hard to talk about.
And quick nod to Gen X listeners too, because I know there's a number of Gen X listeners on this podcast, and you know, you opened that door and we got to fucking fly through it. So thank you guys all for chipping away, please.
And honestly, the Gen X parents that I know right now, they're doing it right. Yeah, they know what to do. Totally. They know what not to do is the number one thing, and they killing it.
Yeah, there's an understanding we are burdened to cultivate for the older generations, like boomers and beyond, because of that. And it's like, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to vilify anybody.
Not at all.
Like they were presented a world in which that's what made them do this. Yeah. So I understand that. And that's not their fault all the way.
Not at all.
But it is sometimes comical.
Because when you're conditioned to be that way for so long, 100%. That's just how you're going to live. And you know what? I will get into this later, but you know, my mom is very much an undiagnosed ADHD person, and you know, out of sight, out of mind. So when you don't talk about something, it doesn't exist. Yeah. And that is the curse of the white people, I think. It's like if something we don't talk about it.
Another script by Adam Lloyd.
Yes, the curse of the Caucasians.
The Curse of the Caucasians would be #1 horror film of all time.
Again, another
I think that's actually most movies, is the Curse of the Caucasians.
It's true.
Oh, God.
Now there's going to be a documentary called The Curse of the Caucasians.
Fuck, we got to fucking copyright this shit. Stat. So she remembered things.
So she told me I remember your dad saying this about, you know.
Could you tell in her tone that she fully remembered?
100%.
Yeah.
But the thing is that my mom's a very loving person. So when she heard that I have a half sister, girl had questions. She was like, who is she? Where does she live? What does she do? Blah, 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 blah. And that was the first kind of wave of, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Oh, interesting.
For me.
Okay.
Because that would be just diving into this woman's personal life. And I mean, you know me, I'm very reserved kind of. I know I talk like I'm not, but I'm very introverted, and I'm not really one to go up to a stranger and start a conversation who is my long lost half sister.
I mean, I would don't put any pressure on yourself, because who the hell can navigate? Like, some people might be able to do that, but then they still have to deal with the repercussions.
For sure.
Oh my God, I just did that.
Yeah, and like the thing was,
you took a different route, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was though, is that as I started talking to this woman, she started telling me about her life, and I started telling her about my life, and then one day it hit me, and it took it to hit me a bit longer than I thought it would, that every single question that this woman has ever had about her parentage, about her lineage, of who her father is, who her grandparents are. Every question that this woman has ever had, being an adopted child, from her childhood to being an adult, I have the answers to.
Oh.
And I was sitting there going, holy crap.
That's a lot.
Like, I hold like these secrets that this woman does not know, and now it's on me to tell her who her biological father is, who her grandparents were.
Yeah. Like, you know that I understand that.
Yes,
like,
100%. And
it should not be a burden we carry, and that's the part that I've struggled with for so long.
Yeah,
it's like, why do I have to be the one that does this?
For sure.
Like, my parents' choices put me in this position.
Yeah, I didn't ask to be here.
No.
I didn't ask to be here. Just because y'all got horny one night and decided to touch, and now I have to pay taxes.
Rude.
Excuse me.
Excuse.
No. But like, honestly, it's kind of like, it kind of was like I felt as though, yes, you know all of these answers, and if you don't tell her, you're an asshole. But also I was like, does she even fucking want to know about this guy?
Yeah.
Because we don't have the best past. And I don't really want to paint a picture of a stranger for her who, and to be completely honest, to give my biological father the, benefit of the doubt, I don't know who he is as a man right now. And I don't know what he's going through. And I don't know what he's feeling or if he's made terms with guilt that he has. And, he has reached out to me in my adult life, and I have responded through letter and stuff. I'm not going to deny this, aging man piece that he wants in his life if he's feeling bad about it. Yeah. But also, that doesn't get you off the hook for a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Two things can exist.
Amen. Yeah. So after talking to this woman for a while, and keep in mind, I want to put that it was holiday time. Like, it was
right.
Like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you said you found out on Thanksgiving.
And then, of course,
so you're
Thanksgiving blends into Christmas.
That is like a top of mind. Family stuff is top of mind.
It very much is.
I mean, we can all pretend, people even that pretend, they're like, I don't like holidays, blah, blah. I'm like, well, why don't you like holidays?
Right.
Like, there's anything to do with holidays.
Yeah.
Come back to family.
It will always come back to family. Yeah. And you know what? As we were talking at this time, things were seeming really good. Like, we were actually bonding, and we were actually talking about things that made sense for me to think, you know what, maybe it is time that she can take this. Like, I can tell her who her dad is and who her stuff. And she was very like, you know what, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Like, but like, I was very, you tell me when you're ready and I'll let you know. And so when she said she was ready, I told her. I told her who her dad was. I told her who her grandparents were. I told her who her cousins were. I told her that she also has another half brother.
Wow.
Because I have a brother, Brandon. And so that was a whole other thing for her. It's like, she's sitting in her home realizing that she had brothers her entire life. She had like half siblings who, Holly, keep in mind, were growing up down the fucking street.
Why? How does this always happen like this? Like, the universe is so wild. The fact that you guys you might have been in the same space. You likely were. I bet you a Facebook memory is going to pop up.
Yes.
And you're going to zoom, Minority Report style on a photo.
Yes.
And see this person behind you. And it's just the way the world works is like, at some point you were going to intersect.
Right. So I told her everything. She was very, very grateful.
Can I ask you, did she reach out to your brother after that?
She did.
Okay.
She reached out to my brother, who did not reciprocate the news well. It's not that he didn't do it well, is that he had a very hard time believing that it was a real thing.
Wow.
That, I'll get into. But, my brother is a very skeptical person to begin with, but also Brandon is out of the two of us, he's the only one who had a relationship with our biological father.
It's definitely a different position.
For sure.
Like,
and so like
on guard in a different way.
Yeah. So when I'm like, hey, we have this sister from dad's side of the family that we didn't know about, I could only imagine to my brother what that felt like. Like, oh shit, here's another thing that man didn't tell me or I didn't know about that is going to view my mind. Again, daddy issues.
And obviously, we haven't talked about this, and I hope that we have the time to get to it, but you and your brother had different lived experiences, like you're saying. Yeah. Not just the fact that you had a different relationship with your father, but you were also dealing with some other stuff behind the scenes that, of undiagnosed neurodivergence, grappling with your sexuality. Yeah. And it's like, you're dealing with all these things on a lifetime of, okay, now you're at this moment. How you respond to it is also going to be shaped by that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I just find always in these stories, that's just like the well of empathy that people carry when they've been through so much stuff, that they're willing to kind of, and sometimes like, yeah, I'm going to burden myself with this task that doesn't feel great to have to like explain to our family.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great and it's scary, but you've built the foundation of empathy.
Thank you.
To carry through.
And it's ultimately for the better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is where I think of it as like, I'm not one who loves secrets. I am not one, even though I do love, like, if I'm telling a story or something, that's my ultimate like go-to is like, I write about families who have secrets. I write about superheroes who have secrets. And what a surprise. You watched I Dream of Jeannie as this man keeping a secret woman in his life for his entire life. Buffy the Vampire Slayer had to keep that she was a secret slayer her entire life. I love that shit. So yeah, I grew up, you know, I'm very much AUDHD. It's autism and ADHD. I'm very high functioning. It's mostly because I've lived my entire life masking to seem as if I was normal, because on top of all that, I'm a flaming homosexual.
What?
I don't tell anyone.
Stop the presses. Wait a minute. You mean that photo I saw with you and a genie? You weren't sleeping with that broad?
No, I wasn't. I wanted to sleep with her man. No.
Well, an astronaut, I do not blame you.
Amen.
Wow.
See? God,
So you were masking. You had lived a life of masking.
Yeah, I was masking like my autistic traits, and I was masking my very flamboyant homosexual traits.
That's a lot of simmering underneath the surface.
It's a lot, and it did take its toll, and it did take me down the mental health cycle when I was later in my 30s. And I'm at such a good place that I know everything now. But it ultimately comes down to, I think I have this moral obligation to help people understand things that are hard to understand. And if I have the tools to do that, I'm going to do it. And so I came to that, standing with this half sister. And so I told her everything. And then like the holidays kind of started going on. And this is when it kind of takes a turn, because as you know, like LA industry is dead from like Halloween to New Year's. No one's doing anything. They don't want to work. Like, we're just trying reasons to get to our 2 weeks off, and that's it. So, and that's very much me. And so like when New Year started, I was busy. Like I was doing stuff, I was working. And, she was still texting as much as we were. And like, it was via, I wake up and there's a text message. I, get out of the shower and there's a text message. And I go on Instagram and I'm tagged in a photo of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then some red flaggy things started occurring.
Well, before we jump into the red flaggy, I do find it interesting. It's like, I've talked about this on other episodes. There's such a pro and a con to being boundaryless in a way, where I find, you're willing to dive into these really hard conversations because we've experienced such hard things that it's easier to get there.
For sure.
But what that does is open up a door for people to walk in and walk over.
Yes.
And that's just such a common thread I see with people that I like have experienced such intense trauma, where they're just like, I love that about me. I love that I can connect with people on a deeper level and we don't have to worry about the fucking weather.
Right.
But it also means that we're not actually the same as way I think we are, you're going to latch onto it. Yeah. And that is still difficult to navigate.
It's like you just nailed it on the head. Like, I mean, ultimately, we will get to this point, but it had to be, we stopped communicating because I ultimately was starting to think that she needed me to be something that I, number one, am not, and number two, could not be. This individual, like, she shared a lot of personal stuff with me about like her life and her upbringing, and not all of it's awesome and not all of it's great. And, it got to a point to where I was like, every day I'm waking up and I'm being trauma dumped on by my half sister. And like, there's also this like part of me that's like, well, you're her brother. What are you going to do about it? It's kind of a thing.
It's so complicated though when it comes
so
to
weird.
Like, I have the label.
Yeah.
Well, but we don't have any foundation for
Not
the label.
At all.
Like,
and here's the thing. And here's where it started getting weird, is that she wanted me to be such a part of her life and very present in it. She wanted to come out here for a spring break trip.
And this is all in the span of a few months.
Yes, very much so. And then and this is the weirdest thing that happened, and this is where I drew the line really, is that she gave her children, she had 4 girls, 3 of whom were under the age of 12 years old. She gave them my phone number. And these girls would then start texting me, "Hi, Uncle Adam. How are you? Hi, Uncle Adam. I hope you're doing well. Happy this, happy that, Uncle Adam. Here's what I'm wearing today, Uncle Adam. Do you like this? Do you like that?" And I never responded to one of them. And I just was not feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
So
there are steps that people take.
Yes, for sure.
That's a leap.
That's a very much a big
leap is generous, but yeah.
I mean, but also at the same time, there's that devil's advocate part. Of like, she's probably excited that she has a brother, and she's telling her children, "You have an uncle. Oh my god!"
And they're blameless,
and they're blameless.
They are just,
of course,
a part of the equation.
Yeah, and you know
of
what?
Other people's choices.
100%. And this is all on me, and God bless them, and like I hope they're doing well. But it ultimately came down to me saying, like, this is just not something that I'm ready to dive into and be this familiar with. I didn't think that it was going to be this grand, seventh heaven kind of family reunion type of thing. But like, I'm also living my own life, and I'm also have my own life with my own people in it, and that who I'm also responsible for.
And you've just given so much to somebody else, or you're put in the position to help somebody else.
Yeah.
And not that that's what it is. I mean, it is inherently helping someone because you're helping somebody like put puzzle pieces together and like learn more about themselves. You have just given so much. And there comes a time where it's like, wait, what about me though? Who's helping me process this? No one's helping. Like I'm here for someone else that had quote unquote less than me.
Right.
But I'm also like, I feel like I'm overlooked. Then now I'm in the position of being less than.
It's crazy. It's weird. And what I will say, to move on to our next subject, would be that if I've learned anything out of this entire experience, is that, and I know you know this, girl, it's like if someone in a family relationship says that they're not comfortable with something, we need to take that, number one, extremely seriously. And number two, we need to learn to talk to each other more about things that might be hard to talk about.
Yeah.
And that comes from like a parent standpoint, and it comes from me to my half sister. Like, I didn't want to say like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I didn't say that as rude as that is, but like, I just had to be kind of firm and say like, this is just not where I am in life right now.
And I thought it sounds like when you're saying it at the time, I can imagine how heavy and hard that must have been.
Yeah.
But it makes so much fucking sense.
Well, thank you. and of course,
you skipped therapy today, so I just needed to make sure you know.
Well, that's what, that was a big part of therapy at the time, was me just dealing with these emotions. And like this is a weird balancing act. And I don't know if I want to do this. And like, I have so much also going on right now and I'm also, number one, introverted person, and I don't want to deal with it. So it was very much a like realization of, let's take a step back. But it's also like she was coming at me hard too. She would send me texts of like, I don't know what we did that you don't want to be in our lives anymore.
I mean, she's dealing with a myriad of emotions.
She has a lot of things going on. Yes, 100%.
Yes, it's a lot from a lot of angles.
For sure. And I will ultimately say, out of everyone who I talked to, every single person who I've had a conversation with who is an adopted child, I've had a lot of conversations with adopted children, if they were presented the opportunity to do a 23andMe or an Ancestry kind of thing, they would choose not to do it.
Really?
I have found that it is the number one answer that adoptive kids will not do, because I don't think they want to know. And here's the thing, I will say, my half sister, she told me that her 23andMe kit was in her closet for like years, like, and she didn't touch it. And then, of course, everyone's coming up with stories of, I have this person, I have that person. And so she wanted to see. And you know what it all comes down to? It comes down to all these men 40, 50 years ago.
Sorry. I love this. Yes. Let's get back.
These men 40, 50 years ago
are you listening?
Were just spreading their seed everywhere without thinking, you know what? In half a century, people are going to be able to send their spit to some lab in India. And it's going to tell every single biological secret that I have.
And it's only going to get even easier to figure that out, folks.
Never would have crossed their mind back then.
All these men, they're like, I'm so great. Surely everyone needs to have more of me. Never once have I met a man and thought that.
No.
Never once. And
No.
listen, I'm not a man. I want to say I'm not a man hater. I'm not a man hater. I'm
not a
married.
man
I'm married
hater.
to a man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
never once have I met a
same.
man and said, boy, oh boy, do I wish there were 25 of you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a shitty man hater. If you're a shitty man, we just don't like you,
Shitty man
okay?
hater, yes.
No, this isn't a man hate podcast. But to the point of the adopted children.
That's so interesting though that and I get that. They're like, I mean, what I take away from that kind of, and I feel like I've applied this to my life sometimes where I'm like, well, I've lived this long.
Yeah.
Why do I need this now?
Exactly.
What
And
do I-
that's mainly the main focus of it is like why screw up either quote unquote a good thing
Yeah.
or why bring in more trauma into a really hard world already.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm so grateful that you like shared the story with us because I think it's really helpful to like learn all the sides of this because like I'm at the stage where I'm developing a relationship with my brothers.
Yeah. And how's that going?
But I was going to say, it's still so hard. It's so hard.
I bet.
And I wasn't even put in the position where somebody is coming at me, asking me specific questions yet.
Right.
I'm not in that position yet
Yeah.
because we kind of all understand like, this is fucking weird. We're all very thankfully on the same page,
Right.
but it's still so hard even despite that to be like, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
Once we do dig into our family history, where do
Because
I start?
there has to come a point to where like, you know, all the fluff and the
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is happening. We're here. That has to die down.
I know,
And
and
like,
it
then
will.
you're just left with, we're two humans.
I know,
and
we're two
what do
humans
we
and
do?
you look just like my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Isn't like I could? So yes, my story is crazy with 23andMe and everything. But you, girlfriend, like I mean, you're living the opposite of what I did.
But I think that's why I'm so grateful for you sharing this story because I think it's like you're showing this another side of like, oh, this is a healthy route I can take, and it does not mean it's forever. It just means that I know myself so well that I know what I need to do right now.
Yes, and I think that,
or it can lead to damage in the future.
For
and if
sure.
I don't do what I know that I need to do.
yeah, and like that would just come from me like learning about boundaries, learning about my mental health, and knowing what I can and cannot take on, and what I can't process. And you know, when I was diagnosed when I was a kid, and somehow I guess my mom just decided we're not gonna give him meds or anything. Let him just, you know, go from middle school into college, into
Not
LA.
my boy.
He doesn't have the mental conditions.
How could he? Have you seen this photo of him and a genie?
God, no. And so like I went a lot of my life unmedicated and like without the resources that I have now that like can teach me how to, you know, calm myself down and how to like filter these emotions and how to handle all of this stuff. So very big mental health advocate.
You're here now. Like you're now, you have, like you mentioned this, and I think this is, you know, a nice way to wrap a bow on this is like, you have the diagnosis. You've had the ADHD diagnosis for a long time, but you're in the position of power.
I know.
You have that diagnosis. You got the further diagnosis, further confirmation of what you'd already been feeling. And now it's like, okay, now you're in the mode of I'm in control. I'm finding the tools, but it doesn't mean that you have all of them yet because like you said, you're put in a position to mask for so long. It's going to take some time.
And I still don't. And I still do it. Like I'm doing it right now. Like my foot has been shaking underneath this
I would never
table
know.
for a while.
Wow, sturdy table.
Well,
Holy
you
cow.
also notice how I've been kind of holding my hands too, because like one of my stims, and I do this, and I get so embarrassed when people catch me doing it.
Oh my gosh, what is it?
It's this.
Adam, you know what one of my Sims is?
I shake my hands and I play with my fingers.
I do this. I click my wrists.
Do you really do that?
Stop. Ask Brad.
Oh my gosh.
So
we're weird.
Stim recognized.
I mean, amen. Good for us asking. Look at us not
I
walking
know,
through life going, hey.
I just want to let all the viewers know you're welcome. That Adam and I have been so goddamn chill.
Yeah. We're not walking around here shaking our phalanges like we're weirdos for a reason.
All right, Adam.
Yes.
It's a lot that you were put in the position to deal with, and I think that you're handling it with a lot of grace.
Well,
because you're able to stop and like look what you need. And I imagine, at least for me, this is the first time I've been able to do that. Is like be like, put Holly first. What does Holly need? In a very healthy way. I might have been doing that in a destructive way in the past, but now finally in a healthy way with the tools. So, you know, hey, maybe in the future you come back on, we get an update, and we'll see.
But also something that you're doing is you're healing yourself by doing all of this. And like that's just what everybody should take away from it. And you know what? You are putting yourself, girl. That's all that matters.
Alrighty, so we are going to end off in a mini game.
Yes.
Because, and you're the perfect guest to do this with, you know, not that all the other previous guests weren't, but you lived in sitcoms. You're on those sets.
I went to those sound stages.
The way that I did when I was a kid.
Stole props.
Good. But now it's your turn, and we're going to put you in the seat where this game, we're going to see what kind of weird family sitcom that fate has in store for you.
Oh, yes.
So what I'm going to do is give you 2 sitcom stereotypes for each category that we're going to build your sitcom in. And you just pick whichever one speaks to you.
Gotcha.
Don't overthink it. You'll get 2 options. They're not going to be the answers. They're the stereotype.
Okay.
The answers come at the end when I read you the Mad Libs style TV guide description of your very own unhinged sitcom.
Amazing.
All righty. Are we ready?
God. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. There's a part of me that I think I did this one specifically for you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There's certain answers in there that I'm like, I think Adam will get this. So we'll appreciate this a little more.
I'm so excited.
We're starting off with your spouse.
Okay.
So, as far as the stereotypes go, would you prefer a spouse who's strong, reserved, and dependable, or a passionate off and on lover?
The first one.
Okay.
Strong. What was the strong?
Strong, reserved, and dependable.
Strong, reserved, and independable.
Okay. For your sitcom job,
yes.
Would you rather have a career that works with computers or a career in education?
Education,
I
baby.
knew that was going to be your answer.
I have a teaching degree.
I know you do.
That I just never used.
And you've taught a lot of classes.
I have.
As well, for writers.
God, I'm so great.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip.
Pull it out. Bring it to Adam's wedding.
Yes.
Sitcom pet. Would you like a sweet stray that's rough around the edges, or an animal that everyone instantly falls in love with?
Oh.
There's no wrong answers here.
I want a sweet stray.
Sweet stray. Okay. And then we've got our hangout spot. Every good sitcom has a hangout spot.
Yeah.
So is your hangout spot, and you have to choose a stereotypical sitcom location.
Okay.
It's as broad as New York City, like a New York City staple, or is your hangout spot at your best friend's place?
It's at my best friend's place.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the city.
Okay. So now, like this show, and this is an unhinged show, we have to figure out what your family secret is.
Oh, hell yeah.
So do you want a secret that has to do with an unexpected event or an unexpected guest?
Oh, man. Let's go with an unexpected event.
Event. Okay. Alrighty. Are you ready to read your unhinged sitcom?
Let's go.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, folks. Meet Adam from St. Louis. They finally found the perfect life with Wilson's forehead from Home Improvement. A career as one of the Boy Meets World teachers who mysteriously disappears after season 4. Yes. A beloved pet that are all street sharks. And their usual hangout spot, Joey's weird little alcove on Full House. Remember when he slept in an alcove?
Yes. Uncle Joey.
But there's one thing that Adam's about to find out that could change everything.
Oh my God.
And it's that their aunt's new husband, oh no, this is the other one. We're going to give you both.
Yeah, give me both.
That their aunt's new husband, Harry Carl, is actually Bigfoot.
Oh my God.
The other one that you actually picked is that you just inherited grandma's haunted condo in Orlando.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I hope you like your sitcom.
I think that's amazing. A haunted condo in Orlando.
With your spouse, Wilson's forehead from Home Improvement.
Yes.
And you're a teacher that is...
It's going to be everything Golden Girls couldn't be.
You heard it here first.
Amen.
Golden Girls, you piece of shit.
I know.
You were truly like that. This one was my favorite game to write because I was writing and being like, Adam will get this. Adam will get this. Adam will get this. All right, Adam. Thank you.
This was so much fun. This
here.
was amazing.
Everybody Knows But Me is a production of Companion and Next Chapter podcasts. This episode was written by me, Holly Brown. Make sure you follow Adam at ADM Lloyd on Instagram and keep an eye out for his next project coming to a screen near you. Our lead producer, editor, music supervisor, and sound designer is Pete Musto. Our associate producer is Ilana Nevins. Our video editor is Alex Musto. Our original theme music is by Kyle Murdock. Our show artwork was created by Aaron Hill. And our executive producers are Jeremiah Tittle and also me, Holly Brown. New episodes of Everybody Knows But Me come out every Wednesday. Follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, youtube.com/@everybodyknowspodcast, or wherever you get great content like ours. Hello, one more thing. Do you have a story of family secrets or darkly funny drama that you want to share? We want to hear it. Email us at everybodyknowspod@gmail.com and make sure you leave us a rating, review, drop a comment telling us what you frickin' love about the show, and follow me at Holly Brown Comedy and the show on all social media at Everybody Knows But Me. And come back next week to hear more of the stories we tell ourselves to survive.